that you mentioned, I wanted to draw out here. You mentioned that Jesus is frustratingly patient. Describe what you mean by that.
Yeah, he's just slow. Jesus is just slow. I mean, the classic example amongst many examples, the classic example is when the synagogue leader Jairus comes and he's like, my daughter's about to die. She's 12. Can you heal her? And Jesus is like, let's go. Yeah, I'll heal her. And then they start going. And then there's this woman who's been suffering from this condition for 12 years. So since Jairus's daughter was born, this woman has been suffering, and her condition would have ostracized her from society and her family and friends. And for a variety of reasons, she thinks that if she can just touch the edge of Jesus's cloak, his prayer shawl, that she can be healed of her ailment. But because of the laws of the day, the Jewish laws, ritual laws of purity and cleanliness, she was not allowed legally to touch other people, but she risks her life and limb literally, and like fights her way through this crowd just so she can touch the edge of Jesus's cloak, his prayer shawl. And she does, and then she's healed. So you think, end of story. The woman got what she wants. Jesus is well on his way to go heal this little girl. But then Jesus stops, and you're like, what? Why? The bleeding woman already got what she needed, which was physical healing. But Jesus stops and he's like, hey, who touched me? And then his disciples, so funny. They're like, dude, there's like 1 million people around. Everybody's touching you. And then Jesus says, no. I'm like, someone touched me. The Greek word is hapto, which actually literally means like to cling, like to clutch. There's a desperation in that word. So he's like, no. Somebody reached out and like clutched me. I felt power go out of me. And people were like, oh my gosh, what? And basically the woman confesses. She's like, it was me. This is why I believe there was healing if I would just, touch the edge of your cloak. And then he like spends this time affirming her. He says, daughter, go in peace. Your faith has healed you. And you would think if you're Jairus, at that point, you're like, are you serious, dude? Like, let's go. My girl needs you. This woman's already healed. What is this? She's good. Like, what are we doing here? And yet that's how Jesus rolls. That's just how he does it, time and time again. I mean, he's like late to stuff. You think about Lazarus's sort of resurrection, and his Mary and Martha are like, dude, you're late, and yet Jesus still, brings him back to life. But he weeps with them, before he does that. He's able to like sit in moments that are very human, and he's never rushed. He's never in a hurry. You think about that Dallas Willard line, which became a best-selling book for John Mark Comer, the ruthless elimination of hurry. And that's Jesus. Jesus embodies the unhurried life, and man, I think for followers of Jesus, if we want to be formed into Christ likeness, that is going to be one of the most countercultural virtues that followers of Jesus can embody in an age when everything is fast, everything is rushed, everything is hurried, and there's always something else to do. Then there's always a big next to get to. I think followers of Jesus need to be the sorts of men and women who say, no, like I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to hurry. I'm going to linger and live life at a slow and steady pace that's manageable.